Are you aware how fruits grow? And what do you call that tough shell on your toe? These are some things you should probably know. Another damn trivia show.
Can you imagine how bad it would be to live in Mississippi? And not just because it's Mississippi, but because every time you had to spell the name to write a letter, by the way, a letter is something we did before the internet. What could be more contemporary? Like every time you have to write your address down when you are ordering something on Amazon. I guess they actually have drop-down menus for the states and provinces. Okay, look, point is, you have to write down a lot of letters if you had to write down the name, all right? 11 of them to be specific. Who's got time for that? No one got time for that. But Mississippi ain't got nothing on a little place in New Zealand called okay, you know what? I can't pronounce it, but I know a robot lady who can.
Taumata whakatangihanga ko au o tamatea pokai whenua ki tāna tahu.
Yeah, that. So, next time you have to write a whack of letters just to spell where you live, be glad you don't have to write TAUMATAWHAKATANGIHANGAKO. Alright, you know what? I'm going to stop there because there's still 68 letters to go. Alright? So, let's just admit, it'd be a huge pain in the butt. I mean, 92 letters. Who thought that was a good idea? Hell, that's 65.7% of a tweet. If someone tweeted you, where do you live? Boom, most of your tweet is gone just responding. So, in honor of
Taumata whakatangihanga ko au o tamatea pokai whenua ki tāna tahu.
I bring you episode 92 of Another Damn Trivia Show. Also a name with a lot of letters, but not nearly as many as
Taumata whakatangihanga ko au o tamatea pokai whenua ki tāna tahu.
On Pod Bros and the Wicked Radio Network. Not only are we paying homage to that little New Zealand town with episode 92 in general, but with category number 1 specifically. The category is That's a Pretty Big Word, where all your answers will be at least 15 letters long. We got no 92 letter long words, but 15 plus. Alright, here we go. Question 1. This 15 letter word is a scientist who studies tiny life forms such as bacteria. Question 2. Someone who makes jokes at his or her own expense is using this type of humor, and it's a 16-letter word. Question 3. Someone who's behaving in a way that they normally don't, in a way that seems the opposite of their normal character, is said to be acting what? And it is 20 letters. Question 4. One of the longest words in the English language, at 28 letters and 11 syllables, it is a political position opposed to the disestablishment of the Church of England. And finally, this is a 34-letter nonsensical word made famous by Mary Poppins. And that's it for category number 1. That's a pretty big word. And before we get to category 2, a little Triv Biz, I'd like to shout out James from the Stereotype Podcast. You can find him at Lution, Lewtion 1. And he said, sadly, the only category I got 5 out of 5 on was chick flicks. Second place was Canada. So this is referencing a show from a few weeks ago. And hey, James, that just means you're A, really in touch with your feminine side, and B, pretty damn awesome. So there you go. All right. So excellent job. Now, he further went on to tweet me again, connected to that tweet with this message. Either that, or I like taking showers in prison. I'm not sure how that connects to his 5 out of 5 in chick flicks. But, hey, cool. I hope you get arrested and take lots of showers then, I guess, James. But you can check out James on the Stereotype Podcast, and you should. All right, let's move on to category number 2. This week, that is movie monsters. I think that's self-explanatory, so let's get right to the questions. Question number 1. What specific name, what proper name is given to the Daikaiju that had a film about it come out in theaters in 2014? Daikeiju. What specific name is given to the Daikeiju that had a film about it come out in theaters in 2014? You know it, trust me, you just may never have heard the term Daikeiju. It's Japanese. I probably just gave away the answer. Moving on. Question 2. What name is given to the extraterrestrial species from the Alien franchise of films? Woo, try saying that one twice. Like fast, like 3 times fast. I barely can't even make that joke 3 times fast. What name is given to the extraterrestrial species from the Alien franchise of films? Question 3. What hunted Jennifer Lopez, Jon Voight, and Ice Cube in a 1997 film? Question 4. Medusa is the name given to one particular monster. What species of monster is she? And finally, question 5. In the 2003 horror flop Darkness Falls, what creature, normally depicted as friendly and generous, fairy-like if you will, is the monster of the film? Alright, and that does it for category 2. And before we get to category 3, I'd like to shout someone else out. We have Dave the Nerd, or at Rev Draven, who you'll remember from last week's episode giving us some category ideas. He said, just got done listening and got a flawless score of 20 out of 20. Great show, brother. I don't know if he's like Hulk Hogan, but I chose to put that inflection on it anyway. So check out Dave. He's on Dave's Nerd Compendium, and that's on the Pod Bros Network. And there you go. Obviously a smart guy, 20 out of 20. So well done, Dave. All right, moving on. Category number 3. This was a suggested category from Neil, who you could find on Dark Angels and Pretty Freaks, a show of which he is the co-host. You can also find him on Twitter at AngelsFreak7. And he asked for the early days of television, specifically the early days of color television. So here we go. Let's get into our Wayback Machine and see how we do. Question 1. The Marriage was a sitcom noted for being the first primetime show to broadcast regularly in color. Which network aired it? Question 2. The oldest surviving color videotape is of a show called An Evening with Blank. Which famous musical movie actor and dancer fills in the blank? Question 3. One of the earliest color dramas was which Western show, featuring Father Ben and sons Adam, Hoss, and Little Joe Cartwright? Question 4. What superhero show was one of the first to have some of its episodes filmed in color in the 1950s? And finally, because this company filmed many early television shows and films in color, these could be telecast in the color format. Because of this, the TV series they had was actually redubbed Blank's Wonderful World of Color. What company's name fills in the blank? And that does it for color TV. And we're about to jump to our final category, but first, a shout out to Rob, who is formerly of Not Safe for Water Coolers and the Big Four, if we ever get around to doing that. That's a wrestling show that we do. I do along with 3 other guys, obviously, Rick, Joe, and Rob, although we've only done 2 of them, or 3. I'm not sure. It's been a while. Anyway, he says, 15 out of 20 on the latest show and kicking myself over the CanCon ones I missed. So again, the Canadian content seemed to have been a bit of a problem for some of my listeners, probably because they're not Canadian, which is just a little sad for them. All right, so thank you, Rob, for getting your score to me. 15 out of 20, not a bad score at all. And remember, if you'd like to be shouted out on the show, all you have to do is tweet me or Facebook me your scores or any comment you want to make. You don't have to tweet your scores if you don't want to. That's your own business. Now, let's get on to our final category, another suggested category. This one from Diamond Dave, who is the co-host of The Cool Story Show. You can find him at David Meyer, M-A-I-E-R, or Mayer, sorry, Maier, David Mayer 7, another 7 at the end of their handle. So there you go. And he requested a very unique category. He said diamonds or giraffes. I chose to give him diamonds and giraffes. So two of the questions will be about diamonds. 2 of them will be about giraffes. The final question will combine the 2. That's right, I found a way to combine giraffes and diamonds. So eat it, those who said I couldn't do it, which was nobody whatsoever. Here we go. Question 1. What are the 4 C's when it comes to the quality of a diamond? Question 2. Greeks and Romans once believed giraffes to be an unnatural hybrid of camels and what other animal? Love on the savannah. Anyway, sorry. Camels and what other animal do they believe got it on to make the giraffe? I don't know where they thought the long neck came from, but whatever. Question 3. What term is used for diamonds mined in a war zone and sold to finance a warlord's activities? It also happens to be the title of a 2006 film. Question 4. What term meant making out in the 50s, but also refers to 2 male giraffes fighting using their necks as weapons? If you've ever seen any National Geographic commercials, you see them doing it. It looks brutal. Anyway, so what term is used for that type of fighting? And then my hint is, it also happens to be the name in the 50s or 60s or 70s. Really, I think I used it in the 80s, but for making out. Anyway. And finally, the musical pantomime group Steam Powered Giraffe did a cover of the song Diamonds by which recording artist? And boom! If my mic wasn't expensive, I'd drop it. Because there's me combining giraffes and diamonds. What up? And ladies and gentlemen, that does it for diamonds and giraffes. There you go, Diamond Dave and Neil. Hope you liked the color TV category. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope you liked all the categories and all the answers. You don't know the answers yet? Well, we'll take care of that right after some shameless self-promotions.
If you'd like to share your score, suggest a category, or be a guest brain, you can tweet at @O_Brundage or at @TheReal_ADTS. Matt would love to hear from you. Between you and me, he gets kind of lonely sometimes and would love any chatter tossed his way. Now where was I? Another Damn Trivia Show can be found all over the internet. Check out iTunes, Stitcher, TalkShoe, Radio Fubar, or head over to the Pod Bros and the Wicked Radio Network, all great places to satisfy your podcasting needs. This concludes our public service announcement. Now on with the show.
You know what I could go for right now? Just a big sloppy pile of answers. Yeah. Just dripping from my mouth and just delicious. And I'm sorry, that's gross. I'm sorry. All right, answers, though, not gross. And I got them right here in my book. So I'm going to give them to you now in your ear holes. So, category 1 was That's a Pretty Big Word. And your words were, question 1, microbiologists. Question 2, self-deprecating. Question 3, uncharacteristically. Question 4, anti-disestablishmentarianism. And question 5, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I'm not going to repeat any of those because they're all a mouthful. Let's move on to movie monsters. The specific name given to the Daikaiju that had a film in 2014 is Godzilla. Kaiju or Daikaiju is the name given to the monsters in Japan. Specifically, I believe the monsters like Mothra, Rodan, like the big, huge, sort of like abnormally large monsters that wreck Tokyo. The extraterrestrial species in Aliens is the xenomorph. I'm guessing the Horror Hotties got that, or anyone who likes the alien movies for that matter. You know, Ridley Scott and Sigourney Weaver and others, I'm sure. The monster that hunted Jennifer Lopez, definitely not an Oscar. Oh, we think that. Sorry, anyway. John Voight and Ice Cube is the Anaconda. The Anaconda. Great movie. Spawned many sequels. None of them good, actually. Not one of them. Medusa, the type of monster that she is the Gorgon. That's the answer there, Gorgon. And finally, the Tooth Fairy was the villain in Darkness Falls. So, Godzilla, Xenomorph, Anaconda, Gorgon, Tooth Fairy. Those are your answers for Category 2. Moving on to Category 3. That was Color TV, given to us by Neil, co-host over at Dark Angels and Pretty Freaks. at AngelsFreak7. And the answers were NBC, Fred Astaire, Bonanza, The Adventures of Superman, and Walt Disney. For the record, for question 4, if you just put Superman, that's fine. I'll let it go, even though the show was called The Adventures of Superman. So NBC, Fred Astaire, Bonanza, The Adventures of Superman, and Walt Disney. And that takes us to our final category, that is Diamonds and Giraffes by personal request of Diamond Dave, co-host of Cool Story Show, at DavidMayer7. And those answers are, your 4 C's in diamonds are cut, clarity, color, and carat. Learned that when I was buying my engagement ring, or actually not mine, my wife's engagement ring. My to-be wife. She is now my wife. Wasn't at the time when I was buying the ring. You get what I mean. Moving on. Greeks and Romans believed that giraffes were the result of an unnatural union of camels and leopards. Leopards is your answer there. I don't know why a leopard is humping a camel. Camel, humping. Haha, woo! Moving on. All right. The term used for diamonds mined in a war zone, also 2006 film, Blood Diamonds. Blood Diamond, or Blood Diamonds. Pluralized or not, whichever. Question 4, the term that meant making out in the 50s, or, I think I used it all the way up in the 80s, but now means when giraffes fight with their necks. It looks pretty brutal. It's called necking. Necking. So there you go. It's, male giraffes trying to show dominance so they can hook up with, I'm guessing, female giraffes, or possibly camels and leopards. I don't know. I don't know what gets on in the savannah. But when they want to fight other male giraffes, boom, just start smacking their necks around until I guess one drops dead from a broken neck. And finally, Steam Powered Giraffe did a cover of Diamonds, which was originally recorded by Rihanna. So there you go. There are your answers for all the questions that came out this week. So how did you do? I'd love to find out, but you'll have to tell me. For now, what I can tell you is a little advice. I can give you some advice. I'm also telling it to you. You know what I mean. Anyway, if you, like me, are quite lazy, but you also write a lot of letters to be sent by snail mail, I have a hint to minimize the effort required when writing return addresses. Move to a town whose name is only one letter. Aren't any? Wrong! There are, and I'm going to give you some right now. May I suggest A? That's a little town in Japan. Or B? That's a lovely village in Ohio. O is nice if you like Sweden, but the O's got an umlaut, so you have to be really committed to living there. If you want to live in U, you can choose between Panama or Micronesia, and if you're willing to add an accent aigu, you can go to Madagascar. Alaska has a settlement named Y. Maybe it was inspired by the question.
Another damn trivia show. Well, that brings us to the end of another damn trivia show. You're a tad bit wiser, a little bit smarter now. You're welcome, here you go. Just so you know, nothing wrong with being a geek. It's a flash fact like Superman ain't weak, or Batman is Bruce Wayne. That don't change, it don't hurt to have a little something extra in your brain. Remember, this is an important lesson. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Maybe there are stupid answers, but they're a lot funnier to hear, so that don't matter. Now come on back for another damn trivia show. But before I go, I just want to say peace before we part. Until next week, have a great day, stay smart. Another damn trivia show. Another damn trivia show. That was the end of another damn trivia show. That was another damn trivia show.